This was the last working whaling station in Australia, and somehow people don't know about it. Right here in Albany, Western Australia, sitting on the edge of King George Sound, is Cheynes Beach Whaling Station, and it's been frozen in time since 1978. The machinery is still here, the whaler is still here, and the stories are unlike anything else you'll find on the road. Albany Whaling Station is located in Albany, Western Australia, at the southern tip of Western Australia. It is approximately 4.5 hours south of Perth, right on the edge of the Great Southern Ocean. Albany's coastline offers stunning views of the Southern Ocean. On land, there are numerous attractions to explore, including historic buildings, a replica of the sailing ship Amity, and a variety of activities to fill your days. We had been told about the Albany Whaling Station, and on our second day here, we headed off to this historical site. The Cheynes Beach Whaling Company was one of the last functional whaling stations in the world, operating for 26 years. Life was incredibly challenging. Workers endured long days in freezing winds and faced extremely dangerous conditions. Once a whale was brought in, the work continued around the clock. The noise, the smell, and the physical effort required were overwhelming. And then, in November 1978, the company decided to close. The industry had become unviable. The workers simply put down their tools and walked away. As you step inside, the scale of the factory overwhelms you. This working factory feels frozen in time, prompting you to wonder how challenging it must have been to work in such conditions with the heat and the strong odours all around. Everywhere you look, the machinery is massive. Every single part of the whale was used. Oil, bones, blood, even the meat. Nothing was wasted. Standing here now, it's hard to imagine the scale of what happened on this very floor. Meat and bone from the whale, known as grax, went through these rollers as a step in the process of creating fertiliser. The centrepiece of the museum has to be the Cheynes IV, a fully restored whale chaser that visitors can board and explore. As you stand on the deck of the ship and gaze out at King George Sound, the sounds of the ocean fill the air, giving you a true sense of the area's beautiful remoteness. It's such a peaceful experience. I would have to believe this is the complete opposite of those tumultuous whaling days, and how difficult and dangerous it would be to man the harpoon. Down below, the crew quarters are tiny, with several sailors sharing bunk rooms. The kitchen and the gallery are also quite cramped. The men spent weeks at sea in conditions that look quite tough from our point of view. These 3 enormous oil tanks, which were once used to store rendered whale oil, have been completely repurposed. Each tank has been transformed into its own cinema, where informational films are screened to provide insight into how this station operated. One of the cinemas even features a 3D screening. But it does not end there. Housed here is the largest collection of whale skeletons on display in the entire country. This is the skeleton of the last sperm whale harpooned in Albany, one of the last whales harpooned in Australian waters, and you can stand right underneath it. These skeletons were carefully reassembled piece by piece and have been on display here since 1980, the year the station first opened its doors to the public. What makes the display even more remarkable is that some of the skeletons were excavated from a graveyard located just behind this station. It is our understanding there is no other whaling display in the world as accessible as this. Nowhere else can you get this close. Nowhere else can you stand in this moment. Albany is a full day's drive from Perth, but it rewards the effort. If you're doing a lap of Western Australia, don't treat it as a fuel stop. Albany deserves more than a passing glance. This place, especially the Albany Whaling Museum, stopped us completely, and I think it'll do the same to you. Don't miss it. Here's some information if you intend to stop at the whaling station. The museum is open daily, and entry fees start at $36 per person, which is very reasonable. Absolutely worth it for what you get. There's ample parking for caravans and motorhomes right near the entrance, which is always a relief. Allow yourself at least 2 to 3 hours to do it justice. There is also an on-site cafe where you can enjoy delicious lunches and tasty snacks.